Mental health, mental well-being, a subject that we as professional coaches need to take very seriously and apply to ourselves just as much as we do to others. My name is Ralph Watson. I'm a professional coach, master coach, and have been running my coaching business for over 20 years. What I'd like to do here today really is to have a conversation, if you like, around the topic of, as I like to say, taking care of yourself, coach. Because one of the things that I frequently tell new coaches is your first client needs to be you. Because if you can't take care of you, you can't take care of anyone else. So let's think about how we do that. First of all, let's think about the nature of what we do and how we do it and the issues that that can bring for us. First of all, coaching and running a coaching business can be a fairly solitary place. It can be something of a lonely place, and there are isolation issues. Now, over the last 12 to 18 months, we've seen that more than ever with the whole COVID-19 pandemic, with numerous lockdowns and restrictions and people restricted literally to sitting within four walls and working on Zoom for much of the time. So isolation can bring its own penalties. I have friends who are extreme introverts, and even they find it somewhat challenging. And those of us who are more on the extrovert end of the scale can find it really wearing. So isolation is a big one. Of course, running any business, particularly any small business, and even more so any one-person business, brings its own problems. Cash flow, taking care of your marketing, making sure you're doing your accounting, making sure you are getting the clients that you need to get, etc. So all of these are things that can impact on our well-being because they focus our thoughts. They filter into us even when we are doing our best to relax, maybe watching the TV or spending time with loved ones, whatever. These issues can be creeping in there. They are never far from us. There may be other personal issues. Those of us or those of you who may have family issues, may be in challenging relationships of any kind, all of these things come to bear. And of course, there is what I like to refer to as the client sponge effect. As professional coaches, what do? For a living, we make our money from being with people who want to make changes in their lives. And very often in wanting to make those changes in their lives, they will bring us the problems, the issues, and the challenges that they have in those lives. And being in a deep level of rapport with those people, we cannot help but absorb some of that. All of this, all of these issues go into this melting pot in here. And in there, they begin to have an impact at a conscious level and at an unconscious level. I guess by now I'm beginning to make it sound like being a professional coach is a nightmare journey. Well, it isn't. It's a gloriously rewarding profession. We need to be aware that it comes with its prices and it comes with its challenges. So we need to be aware of the things to look for. So some of the telltale signs of any of this starting to impact on us at a mental health level are the classic signs, really. Monitor yourself. Monitor those in your peer groups as well. Watch for the simple telltale signs, the mood swings. The person who is usually ebullient and outgoing suddenly becomes quiet and withdrawn. Or the person who is usually fairly placid suddenly becomes fairly irritable, snappy, even angers easily. Watch in yourself for sleep issues. If you have in the past enjoyed a good night's sleep and you find yourself now having broken sleep, finding it difficult to sleep, finding yourself having to stay up late at night reading or whatever because you just don't feel like settling down, or you find that your mind is occupied all the time and thoughts creep in, jump in, even when you've got your eyes closed and you're doing your best to get to sleep. So monitor for that as well. Watch for any issues with your concentration and your workflow level. If you begin to find it difficult to concentrate on what you're doing because thoughts are creeping in, if you find yourself working in a session with a client and you find other things that are creeping in that are taking you away from the active attention to your client, then ask yourself, what's behind that? What's causing that? Where is that coming from? And of course, look at your own physical habits as well. Are you finding yourself eating more because you have those issues around, when I eat, I feel a bit happier, I feel a bit better, I feel a bit more upbeat? Are you perhaps eating differently? I've had several clients that I've worked with of late who are finding themselves turning to junk food because junk food makes them feel better, makes them feel more awake. Of course, it makes them feel more awake for a little while, but then it dips and away goes the concentration. So take note of your eating habits. Take note of what else it is that you are doing habitually. Are you breaking the useful habits that you used to have? One of the frequent comments that I hear people say is, I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered to go for a walk. I can't be bothered to go to the gym anymore. I can't be bothered to be getting up early and do my morning routine. I'd rather just have a lay in. I don't sleep well, so I stay in bed later. I stay in bed longer. Notice what you're wearing. Take notice of the habits of what you put on during the day. And I'll talk more about that a little bit later. But I have, on several occasions when I've been running introduction events, I notice people who are 11 o'clock in the morning are sitting in bed in their pajamas attending an event. And I get a little comment in the chat box saying, can't be bothered to get up this morning. I don't really feel up to it. Take note. You need to monitor yourself. You need to monitor what you're doing, how you're doing it, changes in your routines, changes in your thought processes. These are all key. So in taking care of yourself, coach, you've got to take notice. One of the first things that we learn on our journey is around sensory acuity, is around noticing what you notice. Well, notice what you notice about you. Notice what is happening in yourself. Monitor yourself mentally, physically, and emotionally. And take action if you notice any new and unuseful patterns or trends occurring in you. And some of the positive things that you can do. Okay, we've talked about causes of issues. We've talked about signals that tell you you've got issues. Well, let's switch off that and start switching on things that you can do starting right now, starting today, that can help you to take care of yourself, coach. Okay, first of all, exercise. Now, I'm not talking about going into the gym and pumping iron for 2 hours and doing 7 days a week. But get up out of your chair, get out of the house if you can, and walk. Do some stretching exercises at home. One of the things that I've started doing is some of my meetings, I'm actually getting out of this chair, taking my laptop, standing up, using my laptop out in my garden, putting it on a box on top of the table, and I stand up and have stand-up meetings. A habit that I got into quite some time ago because it enables you to think differently, position yourself differently. You know, move your body and you'll move your mind. So get some exercise. Walking is great. You don't have to be a runner. You don't have to be an Olympic athlete. You get out there and walk at a brisk pace for 10, 15 minutes, any time of the day. And it gets the blood pumping, it gets the heart beating, it works the lungs, it gets the oxygen into the brain. And it's very difficult to be down when you're exercising because you're pumping those feel-good juices into the brain. You're changing the brain chemistry. So exercise is great. Get some fresh air whenever you can. One of my great oases in life is to go out and sit in my garden and just breathe fresh air. Now, I have a mild hay fever these days, but I don't let that stop me. I'll go out there and sit in my garden and breathe good, clean, fresh air whenever I can to get out of these four walls. So get some fresh air. A couple of other things you can do, and I've made a habit of this for over 20 years now, is meditation. It has been medically announced, if you like, and supported that meditation is good for our health and well-being. Now, there are plenty of apps you can find for your mobile phone, for your smartphone, which will allow you to meditate. Calm is one that I know some of my friends use. You can meditate anywhere at any time. One of my great long-standing friends of over 20 years now is a guy who was a Buddhist monk. He actually spent over 10 years in a Buddhist monastery. And he and I would very often take what we called a walking meditation, which was to walk at a brisk pace in silence and just look around, to just breathe and be and look around, not put labels on anything. Just observe the world and take in what we're seeing and just allow it to flow in and out, just as you breathe in and out. A walking meditation. Meditation can be very useful. I actually run an online meditation group, which meets every Thursday evening at 5 p.m. with a friend of mine, Harshita Malhotra, who is over in Mumbai, and the two of us connect on Zoom with a whole bunch of people who join us for an online meditation every week. So meditation can be great. If you feel up to it, and there are plenty of classes that you can find online and live when we're allowed to do so, and that is yoga. You can find yoga at just about every level, from mild stretching to tying yourself in knots. You will find classes. And again, there are plenty of apps. So yoga is a great way to stretch your body. And yoga, of course, is about breathing. And breathing is essential, not just to staying alive. But if you practice your yoga or meditation and good breathing exercises, that will help oxygenate your body. Think about your food, your eating habits, regular meals, nutritious foods, and plenty of water. Make a habit of drinking lots of water. I aim for about 3 liters a day. It does have consequences when you reach my age, I can assure you, but aim for about 3 liters a day because it keeps the brain hydrated, keeps the body hydrated, it keeps you fresh. So those are physical things. And of course, as coaches, there are 2 other elements that we really should be engaging in. One is to get involved in peer groups. If you are not a member of a peer group, then my recommendation and suggestion to you is to find a peer group who meet regularly, get involved so that you can share your wins, share your challenges, share the things that you face, and as my old mentor used to say, get the drains up and let the stuff out. It's great to be able to mentally and emotionally wash your hands and cleanse yourself. And of course, supervision. If you are a member of the Association for Professional Coaching, APC, then it's a requirement of your membership that you undergo monthly supervision, whether that's peer group supervision or direct professional supervision with an authorized coach supervisor. They are requirements. It's not there to be fun. It's not there because we fancied putting it on the website. It's there to protect you as a professional, to take care of your well-being, mental and physical, to ensure that you take care of yourself, coach. So lots of things to think about, vital things, because we are in a profession which is dedicated to help other people develop. If we are going to give them of our best, then we owe it to ourselves, do we not? To give ourselves of the best, to take good care of ourselves, because you cannot feed others if you cannot nourish yourself. So I'll leave you with those thoughts. If you wish to contact me, please feel free to do so. You can reach me by email on ralph@ralphwatson.com. I always respond to my emails. You can catch up with me on Facebook. You can catch up with me on LinkedIn. Always happy to hear from folks. Look forward to hearing from you. I wish you a great day. And remember, take care of yourself, coach. Bye for now.